This Week 4 DFS Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Right now, to honor football, MyBookie is offering up to $1,000 in free bets using the promo code SGP. That's right, $1,000 in bonus bets on your first deposit when you use the promo code SGP. Play, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. We're also brought to you by Amazon. Log on to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and click the Amazon banner. Bookmark that link and use it every time you shop to score sweet savings and support the podcast. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. Kramer, what's happening? Take your Daniel Jones victory lap. You've been frothing at the mouth, waiting to unleash.
Sean, it's not the time nor the place to take a victory lap. Unless, of course, you want to talk about that last-minute lineup I threw in with Danny Dimes, Evan Ingram, and a whole slew of other – Sean, I accidentally threw out a lineup that got me 205 points. You know what I did with it?
What the fuck?
Finished in the top 300 in some, $20, side contest.
Oh, Kramer.
Oh my God!
Anyway, bring our guest on.
Joining us on the line, host of Inside Vegas, Christian Pina. Pina, what's happening? Did you catch Daniel Jones fever in the sportsbook out in Vegas?
Look, I know why Kramer's laughing right now because you know what he really did with it? He sent it to me trying to tout his $45 DFS win when I showed him some pretty heavy Daniel Jones over props, and I just – look, I love our listeners. I love $100 season-long fantasy leagues, and I love $20 DFS leagues. But Kramer, if you're gonna flex, bro, let's do it a little bit differently than that.
Well, I am holding a Rookie of the Year ticket.
What did you get that at?
I don't want to look at it. I have. So as you know, Sean, I have a number of betting outlets around here, and for whatever reason, let's just say there's a guy that may or may not take bets that, it isn't the great people over at mybookie.ag. Yes. Anyway, have this futures only account. All right. Mm-hmm. It's there with some losing Steelers ones. I don't want to look at it. I'm pretty sure Daniel Jones, I'm pretty sure it was 15. Pina, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was in the 15 to 18 to 1 range. Does that sound crazy?
No, at least that I would honestly say it's 18 at worst, man. No,
I was thinking it was.
I don't remember a 15.
If you did it preseason, right? Or did you do it? How early did you put it in?
Oh, it was during training camp.
Oh, okay. Well, before
you're 20 to 1 better. Yeah. I bet.
But okay. I mean, I think if you put it in July before he played a preseason game, you could have got 30.
Listen, guys, everyone calm down.
We don't need to get crazy. Let's do our best to jinx it. The updated offensive Rookie of the Year odds skyrocketing to first place. The hype train of Daniel Scones Jones. He is down to plus 200. Kyler Murray plus 350. Marquise Hollywood Brown plus 600. Josh Jacobs plus 800. Gardner Minshew Mania has been eclipsed by Daniel Jones. Minshew's plus 800. There's some value there. And David Montgomery plus 1,400. This, of course, was before the Monday night game. So, crazy times, right?
Should we talk?
Ryan, you don't even have a Daniel Jones jersey. That's the thing.
I don't?
No, well, where is it?
Well, Sean, you have to earn it. All right? I'm not throwing my shit around like a 2-cent whore, okay? I needed to see it. I saw it. So let's just say Sunday Periscope. You may or may not see me rocking the day.
Tune in.
I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's the right time yet. But what I will say is I'm very optimistic because, as you know, Sean, you and the rest of the world thought it was hilariously comical that they drafted Daniel Jones there. And I will say, as you left.
But I did hedge my position by saying I thought it was bad because they drafted him at 6 because they got him later. That's what I had said.
Which we learned out later was not the case.
No, it definitely was the case.
And I like how you're still holding on to this. But now that we take a step back, objectively, and I'll even allow you to include last year's quarterback class. Name me a better quarterback.
Well,
I know,
Ryan.
Small sample size, one game. The answer is obviously Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson has looked really good. And I would say the best thing about Lamar Jackson isn't necessarily
Baker Mayfield.
Well,
Oh, yes. Thank you, Pina. You put the ball on the tee. I just cracked open a Perrier the way I celebrate like that private school pussy Daniel Jones. By the way, I'm kind of turning the corner on the private school. Now that he's no longer in private school, I love the education he got.
Former Duke grad.
I love the education. Here's what I'd have to say about Baker Mayfield. He came out hot too, and I think the scenario was very similar, right?
Yeah.
You had a situation
Garbage
where
team. No one
the
expects
coaching
anything.
staff holding on to mediocrity through keeping or maybe below averageness by keeping the starter out there. In this case, it was the great Tyrod Taylor. Baker comes in, it energizes the team, looks kind of fun, but the problem is that now that the the polish has worn off.
Oh,
Danny Dimes, I thank you for throwing this on Twitter. For those who thought that was me that put it, I did not put it up there, did not retweet this. I don't think. I might have been just giddy last night and retweeted everything. But more touchdowns this season, Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones, fantasy points this season, 39.24. Baker Mayfield, through 3 games, only 42.1. Fantasy isn't the be all end all, but I tweeted that out because we were anti Cleveland hype going in, and I think really where you're forged as a quarterback is when the expectations come up and you meet them.
Yep.
So Daniel Jones walked in kind of the best situation. And in the same way, Freddie Kitchens, all he had to do was be better than Hugh Jackson. Daniel Jones has a similar thing. All he had to do was be better than Eli Manning. And that was a very low bar to cross. He did it against this Tampa Bay Bucs defense. Now, once the expectations get ratcheted up and people see the Giants, if they get to the point where they see them as a threat, that's going to be a whole other hurdle to cross.
But and last thing, because I do want Pina's opinion on this, but I mean, come on, Sean. Saquon goes out. You're giving this. Yeah. They're down 18. You're giving this team a 0% chance of winning that game.
Daniel Jones, when down by 18 or more points in the NFL, 1-0. Eli Manning, when down by 18 points or more, 0-44. Again, I think this is just Daniel Jones certainly played well, but I think this is more about how bad Eli Manning was and how refreshing it looks having a quarterback that throws past 10 yards. And again, if the Tampa Bay Bucs hit that field goal, where's the hype train at?
I mean, I'm still excited.
Right, you're excited, but the national hype train is not. His offensive rookie of the year odds are not plus 200 if the Bucs hit that field goal.
I disagree. Sean, you're out of your mind going out of your way to try to he brought a team back from 18 down in the National Football League, put the team on his back, showed his insane athleticism. What did I say in the preseason? Sneaky. You saw that linebacker. I had no idea. But anyway, enough is enough. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting time, minus the fact that Barkley's going to be out for 8 weeks.
Yes, high ankle sprain.
That's not cool.
Debilitating injury. Really takes a long time to recover. But Ryan, great news for you as a man who, when we talk about buying low and selling high, we bought low on the Wayne Gallman cameo stock by getting you your birthday wish in before he became the starting running back for the New York Giants. He was only $35 previously. God knows what Wayne Gallman's cameo price is now.
Well, and someone asked me today, and I'd be curious on Pina's take here, but how much of my waiver, in this case, they're in one of the leagues where you have a budget. How much of your budget do you blow on Wayne Gallman? I told him, don't bother.
Yeah, this is the fab conversation.
I don't think you go crazy on him. I think maybe you go 10, 15%. I just don't think he's going to be an integral part of the offense like Barkley was. I think
Barkley was good in spite of the Giants' offensive line and their scheme. Now, I do think the fact that you have a quarterback that can throw the ball and they won't be loading the box as much gives Wayne a couple more opportunities. So I think that can help him make up for the clear talent difference. But breaking news. Wayne Gallman's cameo price is now skyrocketed to $40, Ryan. So tremendous value here for.
What did we pay for?
$35.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Well, it was just me, but.
Yeah, I was going to say surprise. I didn't participate in my own birthday present.
Okay, before we get to our DFS picks, our DraftKings lineups, one of the guys that I had in my DFS lineup, Nelson Aguilar, got 19 points. In spite of the fact he had a fumble and a horrific third down drop and was key in helping the Eagles lose the game. There was a viral video where Now, I don't know if this is real, but it's certainly read pretty real. It's a guy
Very real.
It's a guy on the news being interviewed, and there was a neighborhood fire. They're interviewing the guy, and he's talking. I think you can play the audio.
He's essentially just. It's like a completely legitimate interview talking about how I guess he's a firefighter. There was a situation. More firefighters came out. And
he showed up. I think he was just a dude. He showed up, and
you guys got this all wrong. Can I give you some pop culture 101? What happened was, so there was a neighborhood on fire. Basically, there was one house on fire. It spread to the next. It spread to the next. Right. So fire departments, they brought one truck. It couldn't keep up. So this guy, him and his cousin rips the ladder off of one of the fire trucks because they, couldn't get to it or whatever. Rip it up. He jumps up, runs up it, and he's standing on the ladder 5 stories up. And these people are literally throwing their babies at him. And he caught them all. Unlike Aguilar. And so Aguilar, I don't know if you saw the other part of this, tweeted at him and was like, "Thank you for being a hero in your community. I want to invite you to our next home game for you and your family for free tickets and box and all that as well." So he took it in stride.
Here's the audio.
My man just started throwing babies out the window. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar.
I will say this.
Unlike Aguilar.
I'm going to commend a man from I'm guessing this is Philadelphia?
Yes.
A man from Philly, very articulate, got the word Aguilar out there without stumbling over any of those strange letter combinations.
Well, a lot of talk radio guys like to call him like Aguilar.
Well, people from Philadelphia
Alshon Jeffries
have no idea how to
speak
the English language.
Here we go, guys. Football time. Before we give out our DFS lineup, quick shout out to not only the sponsor, more a partner in the hashtag DGens only lifestyle. It's mybookie.ag. I've been dabbling. When the Eagles are down, I've been dabbling over at the casino. 3-2 blackjack. And of course, what do they got? USA Soccer, MLB, college football, but most importantly, the National Football League. Live betting? Oh man, that's where you can really rake in some cash. Props, parlays, the parlay, customize your own parlays, customize your own prop bets. They got it all over at mybookie.ag. Very easy deposit withdrawal using the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin Cash, I think. If you want to gamble, and obviously you do because you're listening to this podcast, you head over to mybookie.ag, use the promo code SGP. You get up to a 100% deposit bonus. Play, win, and get paid over at mybookie.ag. Let's get to it, folks. Putting out a DFS lineup. Pina, kick things off. Who is your quarterback this week? How much you paying him, and why you starting him?
I think we're probably going to have a duplicate here with me and Kramer. Look, Daniel Jones is going to be the chalk, and I wanted to go with him. I think it's one of the best matchups on the board, not just for this year, but basically when you encompass the data for the last 2 seasons. Washington gave up some of the most incredible point totals I've ever seen when it comes to going up against a fantasy quarterback. Only being basically second to Miami here, so I have to go with Phillip Rivers. I think the stack is probably fairly obvious. It's coming later, but 6,200. I went back and forth between him, Jones, and Goff. I think all of those make a really compelling argument. I believe Goff is maybe 61 or 63. He's 100 points different, or $100 difference here. But when you look at what Rivers, this is the Miami Dolphins. I was just caught myself about to go into this, the analytical this or Rivers points this. It's the Miami Dolphins. You fade in with quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, 6,200.
Whoa. Did you zigged where I thought you were zagging. I thought you were telling me about how chalky Daniel Jones was. And I was about to follow that up by saying even Mitchell Trubisky threw for 231 yards and 3 touchdowns against this defense on the road. I think that's so the one major alarming point here about Daniel Jones. This is an interesting home spot now because now there is a little bit of that hype, right? He went from getting booed at Yankee Stadium when he was drafted to now surely everyone's going to want to suck his dick in the city for a week. He's going to hear it, or is he? Sean. Because he has that demeanor. He has that calm personality. He doesn't waver. And, Sean, I will be repeating this on the NFL show, but do you know what got that team jacked up on Sunday?
When he went in there and he said, "Let's fucking score."
He said, "Fuck." The kids all grown up. They don't teach that down there in Duke, Sean.
Yeah.
I don't know where you probably learned that in New York.
Not allowed to curse.
Are you kidding me? 5,300 for Daniel Jones against that secondary?
It's not a bad play.
Mitchell Trubisky threw for 3 touchdowns and
On the road.
On the road.
You guys certainly make great points.
Have you seen the Giants secondary? Like, I'm not mad at you if you want to play Case Keenum this week, because I think they're Janoris Jenkins is just getting shredded.
Is Case Keenum definitely starting?
I guess this is when you bring in. If you're gonna bring in Haskins, you do it in this kind of spot because
it sounds like Haskins is gonna wait. And, they're not gonna start him. But
do you know who he rooted for as a child? The New York Giants from Jersey. This would be a great spot to start him.
Case Keenum?
No, Dwayne Haskins.
Oh yeah, I don't think
against that secondary, against the team with very little pass rush. So they kind of showed up last week. Sean, I don't want to stomp all over the DFS stuff, but it reminded me a little bit. A couple years back, pesky game against the Redskins week 3. They're 0-2. Spags' defense is giving up 80 points, and what do? They heroically win the game. They go on to beat the undefeated New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, Sean. Starting to feel a lot like that season. I've got a lot of hope. Because you know what's powerful, Sean?
Hope.
The power of no outside the building galvanizes even the hardest metals.
But I feel like
Daniel Jones.
I feel like the pendulum swung so crazily where it went from Daniel Jones was the worst draft pick in the world to now Daniel Jones is the odds-on favorite for Rookie of the Year. The truth is probably somewhere in between. We could find out this.
I think so. Here's your problem: you're focusing too much on a gambling market that is going to benefit a quarterback who's going to have lots of opportunity. Sean, what you're really upset about right now is he looks like what Carson Wentz has not developed into. He looks like a franchise quarterback. He actually, I'll say that in all honesty, when I was watching him, he reminds me of Carson Wentz. He has that insane ability. Granted, he fumbled a couple times, just like Carson Wentz sometimes does, where it's almost like he doesn't feel the pass rush at all, but it keeps him calm. And frankly, it's been years since I've seen a quarterback about to get smashed in the face, still looking downfield, chucking a 40-yard bomb. So Daniel Jones is my quarterback. Daniel Jones is my DFS quarterback. God. And Daniel Jones can be whatever he wants to be in my life right now. So
you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it.
That's what Drew told me.
My quarterback, coached up by the great Frank Reich.
Can't take Carson Wentz this week. By the time this contest starts, the Eagles will be 1-3, Sean. So enjoy the
Certainly
basement.
Possible.
Enjoy the basement, bitch.
Wow. Just brimming with confidence. It's a long season, right?
You're tied with the Giants. That's going to be so fucking disappointing. You're talking MVP,
even talk about that.
Super Bowl. Yeah, Matt Stafford, he only loses come on, Pina. Let's talk about this. You got it wrong on the Super Contest, but who can blame you? All Matt Stafford does is beat bad teams, lose the good teams. So what are we sitting? Where are we sitting on this one?
The Eagles look bad.
God, I need to pull this up right now. I believe. Look, how long is Matt Stafford? This is peek behind the curtain here. This is a little filler while I look this up because it's either 8 or 9. But how long do you think Matt Stafford has been in the league?
Oh shit, it's longer than you. I'm gonna say 9 years.
10 years.
10 years.
This was his 9th win against a team that finished the years prior above 500.
That can't be right. Is that right?
Dude, let me pull it up. I know it was 8 before this, so give me 1
good
second.
For 1 a year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's not the winning percentage is different, and people always know about the Cousins one. I also have another one for you. I believe this since 2012. This was Rodgers' 10th win against a team over 500 the previous year.
But anyway, I say all this to say, I on behalf of myself and Sean, I really would like to just thank you, Carson Wentz, for ruining Sean's anniversary. Dick.
Did bring the wife over for couples football.
Tariq Cohen would have never done that, dude.
No, wouldn't have let me down. Yeah, tough loss. I mean, Wentz played pretty well. You can't have 7 drops. You can't have no pass rush. Really bad turnovers. What do you
So
want me to
talk
say?
about your new quarterback. Tell me about your new quarterback as we talk.
I have the stack. Can I
Yes, let's hear it.
spit it out there first?
Let's hear it.
All right, ready? I hope you're ready for this because it's incredible. Aaron Rodgers. Everyone wants to talk about Kirk Cousins. 5-24 against winning teams in his career. Let's watch this. Aaron Rodgers' record versus winning teams since 2012. I was even further off. After their last weekend 6-23.
Really?
Matthew Stafford in his career now 9-54.
So Stafford is 9-54 against winning
Correct.
teams that had a winning record the previous year.
Yes.
Poor Eagles. Anyway, who's your quarterback in DFS, Sean?
It's a long season.
I got you rattled. I know. This is perfect. Right? Oh, stop it.
Right where we want to be.
Stop it.
Nobody believes in this team. You're already there with the shovel digging the shallow grave. Rocky was down. Rocky was out. And he rallied Ryan. Look for the Eagles to do the same. Jacoby Brissett at home against the Oakland Raiders. Jacoby Brissett, quietly a good quarterback, quietly a solid offense, and Frank Reich is a much better coach than John Gruden. I mean, we see what this Oakland defense does on the road. I don't think they're going to bounce back, and I think Indy is really just going to put it to them. I like both your guys' plays make sense, but
Thank you. I appreciate that.
no, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to taking those, but Jacoby Brissett only $5,400 at home, started off with a crazy 16 completions in a row, 7 touchdowns so far this season, 1 interception, and he's just looked really good. Everyone thought the world was ending when Andrew Luck left, and maybe it was just beginning for these Indianapolis Colts. Pina. Who's your first running back?
I did not see a Jacoby Brissett coming out of you, man, but God bless you. Look, what do we do, Kramer? We fade Arizona with their running backs. Now, this one gets a little bit tricky after you get somebody with the Tiki Barber yips. Is it Carson? Is it Procise? You look at body language. You want to talk about gut handicapping, Sean. You look at a guy here who comes in off the bench at a $4,000 price point in CJ Procise. I get it. Look at last week. It's disgusting. There's a chance this could not work out. But here's going to be the saving grace, I think, no matter what. You look at his last 2 games. You get 5 receptions, 3 receptions. That means you get a 3-5 point floor, so it won't kill you. Definitely maybe more of a GPP play. But I don't know. Look, Carson wasn't necessarily, quote unquote, benched directly after. But this is a coaching staff losing patience, losing confidence, and Procise is a guy. Maybe this turns out to be Penny. Maybe this turns out to be somebody else. Look, since Marshawn Lynch has left, we've never really knew who there hasn't been a featured back. It's always been this committee type of situation. If you could never forgive yourself for being a week late, but maybe I'm a week late, but I'm not going to forgive myself for being a week early. So or flip that, but Procise 4,000.
It's unfortunate Rashad Penny's hurt right now because it feels like there's opportunity for someone not named Chris Carson to get involved here. But you can't roll that dice, right? You can't throw out a guy who might get you a goose egg. You know what I'm gonna do, Sean? I'm gonna hop on because what do we know about John Gruden? Still sucks.
Long Cox.
I'm going to check over here. Yep, Raiders still in timeout. And I know you're going to probably, if you're doing your DraftKings lineup, you're like, well, but Ryan, it has a red 7th next to Marlon Mack's name. I don't give a shit. This dude's a workhorse. And I think now every week we've watched NFL football, someone we've watched with or I have been like, man, who's running the ball in Indy? He's running hard.
He's running hard.
And I get it. You want to throw efficiency at me? I don't give a shit. I think he's going to go nuts against the Oakland Raiders. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity, and I love the game plan they've been rolling out there. He only had 16 carries in the last spot, but
also he was coming off a calf injury, so keep an eye on that.
But
maybe he's not a huge pussy like Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
who knows? He could retire, Ryan, and do what's best for his family, go backpacking in Europe. But so keep an eye on that. He seems like a real dude.
But I would say for the price point of, I think he's right around that 6,000, kind of like not top tier, but stud guy. Like the opportunity to touch the ball 20 to 25 times is there, and I think that's all you're looking for at this price point. So Marlon Mack 6,100.
I like it. Pina was talking about throwing Phillip Rivers in the lineup. I'm going to go running back, my boy Austin Eckler, coming off kind of a quiet game, even though he had 7 catches out of the backfield, only 36 rushing yards. They should be able to carve up this Miami defense, and if they're going to be up big, I think he's going to get a lot of carries. I just think they're going to run it up on him, and I think Eckler has a big game. He's been killing it fantasy-wise, except he only had 15 points last week. I think he has a bounce-back game here. And 8,000. Give me Austin Eckler.
And sorry, the other note I wanted to point out there is it sounds like T.Y. Hilton is up in the air at best.
Yes.
So I think that also adds to the value of Marlon Mack there.
Makes sense.
Get out of there without any more injuries.
Who's your second running back?
Miami is on a football field this week, and we're going right back to that, Sean. I'm mirroring you, man. This is a rare quarterback, running back, a wide receiver stack that you're going to see. Austin Eckler, 8,000. Look, this price point sucks. Austin Eckler should not be 8,000, but I get why he is, and I think there's some creative things that we'll talk about when we get to the wide receivers and flex spots that you can do. But when you're talking about a guy on a down week at 15 points, I think that, look at this, 39.4, 24.3, 15.1. Take out the name. This is Melvin Gordon, and the thing that sucks is if this was Melvin Gordon, it would be the same price. Normally, I like to get those guys at the discount, like, Pro Size to Carson or whatever the case may be when a backup comes in. But I want pieces of fading this Miami team, and we're going to do it each and every week until they prove that they care about playing football, which they do not. So it's a gross price point. I completely get it, but you can get creative down the line to kind of make this work. So Eckler, 8,000.
Let me ask you this. Is this the week you snap up Justin Jackson at half the price and he gets a lot of mop-up duty? Because it certainly, it's Miami, right? There's always that.
But it's DraftKings and PPR is the problem, though. So you got to get to a point to get to mop-up duty, which is what I always talk about.
He's getting involved in the game. But, yeah, I hear you. I think there's – I don't know. I guess I'm asking the question because when I saw Eckler was 8,000, I was like, that feels steep. It feels a bit steep.
I completely agree. I was like, that's disgusting that I have to do it anyway.
Kramer, who's your second running back?
Sean, I'm making a late switch. Because I'm hearing some good things. I'm not going to copy you guys, though. You know what I'm going to do? What did we just talk about all last week? Ryan, you're crazy. You're taking the Ravens +6, +7. Well, I don't like this Kansas City team and their ability to stop the running attack. What did we see? Oh, well, we saw some
Melvin Ingram going off.
I just love how you can't get your Ingram straight. Mark Ingram, he had a very nice game. Didn't have a lot of carries.
How skinny does he look, Kramer? Let's talk about it every week.
He looks very fit, as the soccer fans would say. I'm heading. Let me. I didn't quite get some Escalades this week, but I got some really nice looking. Forerunners. Maybe the off-road packages because I'm going. Frankly, little surprised by this price point with Kerryon Johnson because. He's the guy we saw.
Coming off a quiet game.
Still got 20 carries on the road against that Eagles team. I'm fine with that. Now he goes back home to take on who? The Kansas City Chiefs. I think they have to see what the Ravens just did, and you got to pound the rock against this team. Sure, this might look like a really stupid pick when the Lions are down by 3 touchdowns, but I feel like I have 50 carry potential from my garage of forerunners. So Kerryon Johnson, 5,400.
Well, you just mentioned him, but give me Mark Ingram. He's coming off a huge game, but he's back at home. He's clearly a big part of the offense. They're going against this Cleveland team that's I'm sure they're going to be in turmoil. Freddie Kitchens doesn't really know what he's doing on the offense. He's clearly going to get out-coached by Harbaugh. Harbaugh coming off after a loss. I think they're using Ingram to set up the play action, and I think he's going to get a lot of looks. And this Cleveland defense is just decimated injury-wise. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity. So give me Mark Ingram for $6,600.
Real quick, still open offer to the internet and the world if you want to lay some Browns Super Bowl futures.
Super Bowl still out there.
Happy to take that from you.
Pina, let's talk receivers. Who's your first guy catching passes?
If you need an investor in that bankroll operation, Kramer, you know I'm always here to short some Titans and Browns stock, man. But look, you touched on Kerryon Johnson. I want to touch on that. That was who I had in there when I was trying to save money instead of going with Procise. I absolutely love that play. First wide receiver, though, too easy. Rare for me. Rivers, Eckler, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen he's gonna tear his ACL in one of these weeks. Until it happens, just enjoy the product because he is, dare I say, probably, look, I'm a results guy, and in terms of results, he's a top 2 to 3, 4 is the floor receiver in this league. He's on the verge of a career year. I don't know that his body can hold up. I don't know if he's going to rupture a spleen, a kidney, tear an ACL, break an arm. Something fluky is going to happen, but until it does, 31.2 points per game in fantasy football is too much to ignore against who? And you look at this, right? Oh, Xavier Howard on him. I don't know that Xavier Howard really we talked about this last week, right? When we were talking about Amari Cooper. Guess what Amari Cooper just did and went out there? Went over every – yeah. I don't think – I think this is maybe, Howard treating this like an extended practice because he just doesn't want to get hurt. And so I am not afraid of him. Look, he's still – in my opinion, Xavier Howard is the best cornerback in the NFL that, one, nobody knows about, and he's a top 3 cornerback in the NFL, period. I just don't think he cares right now, and I'm going to exploit this. So Keenan Allen, 7,600.
Yeah, it's just hard not to go to Keenan Allen right now. Best route runner in the league, if not the best route runners in the league. He's had 10, 15, and 17.
Hype.
10, 15, and 17 targets. To the point of no hype. I have him in the main event, and I took him in the 3rd round. And that's looking awfully silly for someone who's taken, I guess Mike Evans had a good game like I called on this show last week.
The week 8 torn ACL's coming, buddy, so sell high.
No, unfortunately you can't trade in the FFPC, but I definitely worry every week because it's just like, God, I hope he made it out of this game okay. I'm also going with Keenan Allen. At this point, that's a matchup where – we'll talk about the spread later in the week, Sean, but this Chargers team doesn't look like they're going to be capable of covering big numbers, and it worries me a little bit. But
any numbers.
Superchargers.
0-3 against the spread, right?
Great for fantasy though. Keenan Allen, 7,600. Sean, who you got?
Wow.
You also have Keenan Allen. I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
Whoa.
I have a man by the name of Sammy Watkins, $6,700. This Chiefs offense, you got to get a little taste, right?
No Slay this week, it sounds like. That's bad news for the Lions.
There were certainly opportunities against this Detroit defense. Hopefully, Sammy Watkins knows how to catch a football, unlike Nelson Aguilar and some of the other J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Sammy Watkins kind of coming off a quiet-ish game against the Ravens. I mean, he still had 8 targets, 5 for 64, no touchdowns. I feel like this is a nice bounce-back opportunity for Sammy Watkins, and he's not in that top tier. He's right in the middle, $6,700. And Jesus Christ, Patrick Mahomes is thrown already 10 passing touchdowns? Like, why? You got to have a little taste of this Kansas City offense, regardless of the situation, especially in a dome.
Yeah, when is the karma gonna kick back on this Chiefs team? Kareem Hunt, Tyreek
the
Hill,
playoffs.
All the horrible things that Andy Reid's child did.
Oh, come on. His child is, he suffered some consequences. But this Kansas City team, they're just a juggernaut. Mahomes threw 4.
Wow, Kramer. I think you need to take a step back. Wow.
Mahomes threw 4 passing touchdowns in 1 quarter. I want to be involved with a guy who might be able to get 4 in a quarter. Give me Sammy Watkins, $6,700. Pina, who's your second receiver?
Yeah, before I get into this, I want to speak to that, Watkins, the Mahomes whole thing. Look, these are the team totals with Mahomes as a starter since he came into the league. I'm going to go through this. I know people think I talk fast. I'm going to go through this as slowly as I can because it's unbelievable. 33, 28, 40, 31, 31, 35, 31, 28, 40, 51, 37, 45, 40, 30, 38, 42, 38, 20, 27. Unreal. I mean, you want pieces of that. And I know Hill's banged up. All of that doesn't matter. It's you got to get pieces, right? Speaking of getting pieces, guys, we talked about quarterbacks of the first portion of the show, as we always do. I think that my man TB12 only laying 7 is maybe one of the craziest things. Let's think about this. You can get an open teaser leg at Patriots -1 against Buffalo here. So where else am I going? Josh Gordon, 5,900. Yeah, this is insanity. I may have a lineup that is all Chargers and all Patriots, and when I win $1 million, I'll send you guys a postcard from Costa Rica. But look, I'm not gonna pimp this too much. Gordon 83, 19 the week AB came back. You think that's a coincidence? In 73 the first week. This is, you got to stack a lot of pieces in this offense. You think that Buffalo? I mean, power number nerd guys, tell me how the fact that you power rate New England Patriots 7 points better than the Buffalo Bills. I don't get it. So Josh Gordon, 5,900.
And on top of that, they're both 3. Like, this is a total, like, hey, oh, look at this. The little brother thinks he can beat up the older brother. It's so cute. They're both 3-0. The Bills fans are all going to be so excited.
They're going to be putting their kids through tables in the pregame show. It's going to be, oh, my College Game Day would go there if it was an NFL version. This is insanity.
Yeah, I already have the open teaser. Autoplay, right? I mean,
limits for whatever limit anyone's got out there.
The Patriots are not losing to the Bills. Teaser alert.
Nobody circles the way. They brought prime time back.
Chris Berman is back. That does concern me a little bit.
Teej.
Who's
your second receiver, Ryan? Come on.
Is that what we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Because, listen, Sean. Well, I did have a dilemma here. Do I stack Mr. Sterling Shepard with Danny Dimes? No, I'm not going to stack him coming off the big game. His price got juiced up a bit. So I'm going to go somewhere else, and that's to completely mimic you, and that's get a piece of this Chiefs offense, because fuck you if I'm not getting involved in this anymore. It's ridiculous. Yeah, maybe I could get cute and go after one of the cheaper options, but I'm just going to go Sammy Watkins, 6,700. I pointed it out. It sounds like Darius Slay might be out, and if he's out, that's probably not a good thing. I refuse to believe that this Demarcus Robinson guy is this good. He's making plays all over the place. Watkins gets it going again, gets his groove back. I mean, he still had 8 targets last week, just only 5 catches. Let's here's to him catching a nice long one. Sammy Watkins, 6,700.
Give me Josh Gordon as well. Pina laid out a good case for him, but they even got involved. He had a rushing attempt. I think TB going to show, hey, you can be a head case and come to New England, get your shit together. Little spite AB play, and
hey, you can do anything you.
I think Josh Gordon is going to get a ton of looks, ton of action. Buffalo's defense solid, should be an interesting game at home, but they're just gonna find ways to get Gordon the ball. And isn't Edelman banged up? Pina, am I crazy?
No, left game with got an MRI in the ribs. Does not seem like it will be a long lasting thing. Should play in this upcoming game with the Bills, but look. Despite public narrative of Buffalo, I think that maybe Edelman takes it easy this week because, truth be told, I don't think you need him that much.
Yeah, so I think Edelman may be limited, even if he's a go, which sounds like he probably will be. So another reason there why you should take old JG.
He left the game with a broken heart. He's still shook up with this whole attempt to bring.
He's got a chest injury. The injury is his broken heart.
Yeah, how do you get a chest contusion in New England? Tom Brady missed when he was dropping his balls into his mouth. Because I'll give him that. He's probably got some big fucking balls. But
who's your third receiver, Pina?
I mean, hey, a lot we can go into that. Big balls on Edelman. Okay. Look, we're stacking, boys. Guess what? AB out, Edelman limited. Who else? Philip Dorsett. Take the name out of it. If I told you there was a fantasy receiver out there, and these were in the first 3 weeks of this season, he put up 25.5, 6.9, down week. Sure, he was the minimum salary of $3,000 those first 2 weeks. He was $3,400 in a week. He put up 18.5 post AB. This is $4,700. Yeah, it's a big price point jump. Look, Edelman limited. Don't think you need to run him out there. Let's keep that Ferrari. You know what? Edelman's not even a Ferrari. He's like a classic Mustang 5.0. Let's keep that in the garage for this week because truthfully, the Patriots don't need it. So Philip Dorsett, 4,700 to go along with Gordon.
Wow. Even more confident than me. I'm not sure I understand it because I don't know. Did you watch Daniel Jones? He's unstoppable, Sean. Yeah, they're totally psyched you out there. I'm also going Sterling Shepard. I did want to. I mean, it's the less chalky stack, right? Versus going Ingram. More people are going to have Daniel Jones and Evan Ingram, right?
Daniel Jones fever sweeping the nation. What could go wrong?
That's probably 70% ownership stack rate. I have to, like, honestly, at least after last week.
What percentage you think will have Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram to go with Daniel Jones?
No, far, far less. I would say Daniel Jones probably, I mean, people got to understand this isn't like public bet percentage. It's a lot less. Like 30-40% is a lot.
Yeah, it's huge.
So I would say I would set it at 29.5% of Daniel Jones and Ingram stack.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going Sterling Shepard, 58. Guys, did you watch this Redskins defense?
It is really bad.
Did you watch it? And the Giants defense is bad enough to allow this to be a little bit of a, like I said, if you want to get real crazy,
shootout.
Throw Case Keenum in a lineup. Like, don't be afraid. Stack him with Paul Richardson. Have fun with it. Sterling Shepard, 5,800.
All right. This gentleman.
Are you making changes over there, Sean?
No. I'm just pulling up a little data, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a gut handicapper, and my gut tells me this guy is going to emerge. You know, to win big dollar amounts in the DraftKings $1 Million Maker.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to roll the dice a little bit. You got to have some under the radar plays that
do
other
it.
people may not have.
Let's do it.
Try and guess the guy who I have, Ryan.
It's a wide receiver.
Yes, third wide receiver.
Is it on the Eagles?
No.
I was going to say Arcega Whiteside.
I think you're going to go with Preston Williams.
No.
Oh, it's giving you too much credit.
Similar price point, but he is my stack for the Indianapolis Colts. Give me Zach Pascal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sean, you can't go on the internet by yourself, buddy.
What don't you like about Zach Pascal?
I'm just fucking with you.
T.Y. Hilton is out.
Yes.
He showed he can catch. He got a touchdown pass.
He did.
I think he could again, this isn't something you play in your 50-50 lineup. This is something you play as you try and take down $1 million. So yeah, give me.
He has 3 targets in 3 weeks, by the way.
But
well, that was with T.Y. Hilton, correct?
There we go.
T.Y. Hilton is gone. Zach Pascal, it's your time to shine.
I like it. Pascal.
4,500. Give it to me, Pina. Before we talk about your tight end, let's talk about Amazon. You know what I was talking about, Pina. You got to stay in shape. You got to work out. All the workout stuff you want is available over at Amazon.com. Supplements. I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ. Do I really have to sell Amazon? It's a global corporate entity that needs more of your business. Well, let's get real. You're already shopping at Amazon. Why not shop at Amazon and support the Sports Gambling Podcast? It's an easy formula. Don't overthink it. All you do, go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com and click the Amazon banner, bookmark that link, and then every time you shop at Amazon, just use that bookmark. You'll be helping us get paid, keeping this content train alive. We got a ton of content podcasts, cranking it out day and night, no stopping. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com, click that Amazon banner today. Pina, who's your tight end?
You sure you don't want to talk about my tight end some more? Kramer, a truthful question, because I don't have it in front of me, but last year, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Detroit, Atlanta, and Tampa were the pretty, in Atlanta, so Detroit, Atlanta, and Tampa were the 3 like go-tos, right?
I think Pittsburgh was in there as well, but yeah, I know I'm with you. If you're talking about fading tight ends or fading teams.
No, buying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there were I think there was a 5th team in there too, but yeah, you definitely have 3 of them.
Yeah, so look, I was on him last week. I mean, look at these target shares. Delaney Walker, 6, 6, and 9. I get it, 7 receptions, 64 yards. maybe you're not happy with 13.4 points, but if he catches a touchdown, and again, week 1, maybe you're not happy with 6 targets and 55 yards, but he catches 2 for 22.5, touchdown regression. And while I will never back the Tennessee Titans in any specific situation, he is by far the best receiving option on this team. And Atlanta has been so bad over the past, so last year plus the 3 weeks of this year, it hasn't gotten better. I don't know what they have to do to game plan for this or how they don't see it. But you look at Delaney Walker at 4,800, man. You're talking about a guy. Again, I know these, when you look at fantasy points per game, it can be a little bit skewed when you bring in touchdowns too, and then doesn't have them for 2 weeks. Touchdown regression really does kind of come back to the fruition here. So Delaney Walker at 4,800. Just one of the teams that, to me, we kind of play the long play on, and there's a set group of. And look, Corey Davis, if Corey Davis was in the Patriots, he would be, give me a big body receiver catching, wearing 82, catching balls down the field, toe tapping and just bodying people. Tennessee just doesn't know how to use him. And Delaney Walker is the one facet of this offense they know how to use, and I have to do it despite being on the road. So Delaney Walker, 4,800.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Corey Davis. Adam Humphries, a good receiver. He was successful in his previous team. A.J. Brown, the rookie, he looks good. I think this is a Marcus Mariota problem. It's quite remarkable, but he does enjoy throwing.
I think it's a
Delaney
coaching
Walker.
staff game plan and Mariota problem. But again, that's Tennessee Titans for you, right?
Perhaps. I mean, Aaron Rodgers seems to be throwing the ball to his receivers with former offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans there. You want to talk about tight ends. You want to talk about teams to fade this year. The Cardinals are on that list. And you know what? Like going into so through 2 games, because some of these sites haven't updated their numbers yet. So through 2 games, 17 catches, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns against the tight end. And what happened last week? Greg Olsen, 6 catches, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. They've given up 5 touchdowns to the tight end already. In walks Russ Wilson's new favorite tight end target, Will Dissly, who I know there was some garbage effort last week, but Dissly, 3 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks with 12 targets. He's clearly, him and Lockett seem to be the 2 guys there. So really surprised at the price point of $3,600 for Will Dissly in a auto fade. You want to talk about auto fading teams. This Cardinals team clearly wants nothing to do with stopping the tight end. So Will Dissly, $3,600. You can change yours and slot him in there if you want.
Well, Ryan.
The slot. How's the slot?
Also, breaking news: Lenny Dykstra, Bagel Boss fight is off. So I'll try and text Lenny and see what's happening.
We need an interview to find out why.
He said the official word was his lawyer said he was preparing for his lawsuit against the LA County sheriffs.
Oh, he's backing out.
Yeah, he's backing out.
So surprising.
The super reliable Lenny Dykstra will not be fighting the angry bagel guy. This gentleman, huge week 1 in the tight end position, and people are thinking, hey, it's just because Arizona's bad at covering tight ends.
Yeah.
Could be. But also, I think my boy Hawk, I think he could get involved in the game plan at home against this suspect Kansas City defense.
Oh.
He hasn't gotten a lot of targets the past 2, but I think this Kansas City defense has some severe issues, especially in their secondary.
Do you know who their coordinator is this year, Sean?
Spags.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
hasn't been good since 2007.
It's impressive. I think he's in the league just because he has the name that sounds like a defensive coordinator.
That, and he stopped the best team in history.
It's a nice piece of well, again, he didn't stop the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles. Right. So here you go.
Stop it.
TJ Hawkinson, $3,300.
That train fell off the fucking tracks. Objectively, the 2007-2008 Patriots is probably one of the best teams ever. The 2000.
Yeah, just wait out.
But they lost. How could you say they're that good? They lost to the Giants.
Well, that's why
I'll lay out the case when it comes to the defense.
That's why
boys.
Spags still has a job. That's all I'm saying. The 2017 Eagles aren't even in the top 25 best teams.
But the defense wasn't even that good. Why did no one on the defense win the MVP?
I agree. Justin Tuck should have won the MVP.
Wild card fever. Oh my God.
Justin Tuck should have won the MVP over Eli. Is that what you want to hear, Sean?
Yes.
All right. Come back to me when you win another Super Bowl.
All right. That's a plan for the season. Pina, who's in your flex spot this week?
Jesus, you got me all rattled with this Giants-Pats talk. All right. Look, who do you think in the NFL, honest question, don't look it up, kind of rapid fire here, who has as a quarterback, who has the most passing attempts in the NFL? What quarterback has the most passing attempts?
This is a good question. And it's probably like Case Keenum or something stupid like that.
Nope.
I'll say
Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
All right, I'm gonna give it to you. It's Kyler Murray.
Ooh. Oh, that makes sense.
You know where these targets are going? Christian, great name by the way, Kirk. Let's talk about it. 12 week 1, 8 targets week 2, 12 targets. You know how many of these he's catching? 10 for 12 week 3 against Carolina, 6 for 8 week 2 against Baltimore, Detroit. Bad week, 4 for 12 week 1. I give him a pass. 15.9, 20.4, 10.4 in a week. He caught only 4 balls. Look, ignore names, play numbers, not players. Take the players out of it. Christian Kirk is leading the league in target share right now, and this is a price point at 5,100. I mean, let's kind of put this in perspective here, right? Jarvis Landry, 5,100. That's pass name value and target share in Miami. You're looking at John Brown, Dede, Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, Larry Fitzgerald at 56. This target share, for whatever reason, Kyler Murray and Kirk are clicking, and you can't get me away from a good bromance, guys. So Christian Kirk at 5,100.
Solid value.
I like it. I have some money, and I have a couple different opportunities here, Sean. I'm definitely going to be playing a couple lineups because, on one hand, I love the amount of targets that Tyler Lockett's been getting up there in Seattle. He's now, I want to get this number right, 26 targets over the past 2 weeks. There was some garbage in there. Definitely last week there was some garbage. But I think we're learning maybe this Seattle defense isn't that good, and Danger Russ is going to have to sling the rock, go downfield. So I like that. But on the other hand, I flip over to the tight end position, and I see a couple guys that are real appealing to me. First, let's start with Waller. I wasn't getting out of this episode without talking about this guy. Fucking 14 targets, 13 catches last week. I'm sure as shit not playing that right after that kind of performance because, first of all, to catch 13 of 14 balls is pretty impressive. Secondly, to expect that you're going to see that type of target share again, I think it's probably unlikely, although they should be losing by a lot. So you know what I did, Sean? I said, fuck it. Why is Evan Ingram not the number 1 tight end on the board going forward with Danny Dimes in there? I'm going for the double stack. Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. Not only that, Sean, you know you like the double tight end set. So
I do. 12 formation.
Evan Ingram, 5,700. Let's fucking go.
LFG for my flex spot. Now this guy, he's coming off a big game. Normally you don't expect him to have back-to-back big games. However, this guy, he gets you 10 targets every game. He's had 31 this season. He's a big reason for the offense's success. If you ask anyone in the Rams organization, which I haven't done, but I've heard people who have, they say Cooper Kupp is the key to the Rams offense. Now, yeah, he's coming off a 2-touchdown game, and that was pretty smart of me to put him in my the showdown stack and put him in the captain's chair.
Smart. You're so smart.
I am a genius, so I catch that.
You know why? Have you heard?
What?
Well, it turns out there's a private part of Jared Goff sucks island. Cooper Kupp goes there.
Yep. He finds his little spot.
To have romantic moments with Jared Goff. No, I think this is a new Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers situation.
He is just clearly the guy that the offense kind of runs through in the passing game. He's going to get a ton of targets. He's great for yards after catch. And you have this Tampa Bay defense flying all the way to the West Coast. I mean, they got carved up. No offense, Ryan. Offensive Rookie of the Year, MVP candidate Daniel Jones.
Thank you.
They got carved up at home by that offense. Now they're going out to Los Angeles to face the Rams.
Do you know what their record is on the road this year? 1-0.
The Giants?
No, the Bucks.
Oh yeah,
0-2 at home, 1-0 at Rome.
They beat Mam Newton, but now listen. The Rams haven't been amazing, But damn it if they don't win games, and I think they could. I think they're primed for an explosion. Offensively, Malcolm Brown, Todd Gurley, they're not really getting it done. I think Cooper Kupp is going to be the guy that has the huge game.
Pina, is Mam Newton not the funniest fucking shit ever?
Man, you got me thinking about Kupp, but yeah, Ben, like Kupp. This is the narrative on Twitter right now. He is look, the NFL and the NBA are the two leagues that actually have the MVP right. And look, MVP hasn't been won by a wide receiver in how long? We can go back and see that. But that version of events, he may be the most valuable player on a football field. Look at Goff without him and look at Goff with him. And so I'm with you, man. But
he's the
flat point Kramer. It's funny as fuck.
He is, he's the financier to Jared Goff Sucks Island. If they somehow get rid of Cooper Kupp, then Jared Goff Sucks Island.
He's fucking, he's like a mix of Ja Rule and fucking Billy. Help me out here. Fire Festival. He's bankroll in the operation.
Pina, that is the smartest thing you've ever said. Jared Goff is Ja Rule.
Oh,
Billy McFarland. No, he's Billy McFarland.
Oh my God.
He's white. Cooper Kupp is Billy McFarland.
Did you see the clip of him pointing to his ears coming off the sideline like he couldn't hear McVay, so he didn't know what to do?
Yeah,
I just love that. Like
Cooper Kupp is Billy McFarland.
He tried to piss away my lock. He couldn't do it. But give me the Rams at home. Kupp is going to have a huge game. Feel great about that. Pina, who's your defense?
All right. Sean, hit me with some music. Give me something.
Okay.
Ooh.
I want to get amped.
Uh-oh. Is it?
Now I get Kramer. No. Okay. Keep the music going, Sean. There you go. This is the best Patriots defense we have ever seen. Do you guys want to know a fact? Do you know when the last time the Patriots defense let up a defensive touchdown? Do you know when it is? Tell me.
When?
December
the AFC
14th.
Championship game of last year. Now, this is coming from a guy who had a lot of it on the Jets team total under 10.5. Jarrett Stidham, God bless you. You started our relationship together, ruining that. After a fumble touchdown, Jets scored 14 points on defensive touchdowns. This team has not allowed a defensive touchdown in the AFC Championship game. Why are they not being priced like the Baltimore Ravens of fucking Ray Lewis killing people and Terrell Suggs decapitating people on the field? Patriots, 3,700. This is a disgrace of a price.
It's a baby fucking
rare,
real man.
Rare homerism from Pina.
I love how Patriots fans, they've just had it so good for so long. They have to reinvent new ways that they're slightly being disrespected. So Pina's choosing the fact that they're the second highest priced defense to rally the troops, and no one believes in this defense.
Can we talk about defensive pricing real quick? How bad are the Redskins that the Giants are priced at 3,600? Have you watched the Giants?
That's
defense?
very bizarre. That one jumped out at me. $3,600? Are you kidding me?
It's the Danny Dimes hype. Daniel Scones. All right. I mean, we did this. I think I see your point. I'm a little worried. Josh Allen may prove the K metric wrong, or it may just be week 4. Yeah, I almost went Ravens here, Sean, because I like to play my defenses at home. Baker Mayfield
does like to chuck it.
Turns out he fucking sucks. Turns out the Browns fucking suck. And the Chargers are 3,800. I have 3,800 left.
San Diego Superchargers charge.
And from what I can tell, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins have 0, maybe 1 fuck, but most likely 0 fucks. And if they have 1 fuck to give about this season, it's probably just Josh Rosen like, hey guys, come on, let's try hard. This is fun. So, Chargers 3,800.
Oh man, they should have beat they should have beat the Cowboys. That would have been so awesome.
What do you mean they should have beat the Cowboys? They scored 6 points. Should have had 9. They should have had 9.
He should have caught that touchdown
They
pass.
should have covered that spread. Pushed the spread. They should have had. Why was real quick? 'Cause we didn't have this game on, but do we know why Fitzpatrick was in the game and then he was out of the game?
I think
Rosen got hurt. He's questionable.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, he got banged up a little bit.
Perfect, just what I need. Give me Fitzpatrick out there. I think he's finally done, huh? He's finally driven that O'Doyle rules car off the cliff.
O'Doyle rules.
Time for him to sit down. Sean, who's your defense?
You know who's due for a pick six? Our boy DC, Derek Carr. Give me the Indianapolis Colts at home against this Oakland offense. 24 points their past 2 games. They clearly suck, as we predicted. John Gruden will get outcoached severely by Frank Reich. Darius Leonard, he's back. He was didn't play last week. This defense is quietly pretty solid. I like them at home. I think they'll be in a good spot. I just think the Raiders are going to turn it over on the road, back-to-back road games. They don't got much going on.
You sure Gruden's going to – I read a report that Gruden's going to get back to what got him here and call a lot of Spider 2Y banana.
What got them where? That's what I want to know.
Why is there there's an amazing clip of John Gruden with the John Gruden face on from the Monday Night Booth just holding a banana.
Here's a quote from the Mercury News. Gruden and Carr's regressive offense has put the Raiders season on the brink. The Raiders defense is playing as expected. I mean, how soon is it before we see a Nathan Peterman sighting? Or does he go Glennon? And what's the over-under set at? I don't think, if they're 1-5, I don't think Carr's is the starter anymore.
Oh, they're all so bad. I don't know how you could favor one over
but
the other.
Gruden just loves that new pussy. He just likes something different. He likes something new.
Well, wouldn't that be Deshaun Kaiser?
That's true. I forgot Deshaun Kaiser was signed by him for some reason. Oh, man. Good times.
Never met a greater fade in my life than Deshaun Kaiser. Never met one.
I was going to say, are there, I mean, other than the Dolphins and the Raiders are both in just full-blown auto fade mode, right?
No, so Raiders road, and I mean, look, Dolphins. I believe Dolphins covered as well as Jets. Look, again,
no,
I said this last week.
Dolphins didn't cover; they lost by 25.
Oh, you're right. Look, Dolphins auto fade.
Yeah, they're breaking my. So the close your eyes special this year, I think, is 1-2 against the spread, but the Dolphins as a close your eyes special are 0-2. So the close your eyes special is doing fine. It's just the Dolphins that aren't.
Can I plug something real quick before we get to the end?
Do it.
You can say a lot of things about me, but again, what do I always say? I will adapt. And people who want to come at me now that the spread is mattering more, guess what? Why do you think that is? Because you're seeing 21-point spreads and 17-point spreads when last year and the year before that, you were seeing 13s. You were seeing 9.5s because nobody wanted to be different. And so you got to adapt to that. And so you're finally, after 3+ years, I would say, which has literally allowed me an opportunity to move to Las Vegas, do this professionally and do this full time, built on that thesis within the confines of the NFL market, you're finally seeing college level spreads in the NFL because the odds makers are finally seeing the parity within the NFL, man. And so this is going to be the new wave of adjustment. It's going to sound dramatic and this and that, but this is probably the most crossroadsy, I would say, version of an NFL market you'll ever see, because pros are always going to take those, and quote unquote Joes are always going to lay those. So once you bump that up from, which is what I always said should be done, bumping that from 9.5 to the 17, the 21s. Within the NFL, it's going to be a really crazy time to see who does better.
You don't have to tell me, Pete. 12-4 in week 3 against the spread.
I'll see you at the crossroads.
Love me some Bone Thugs.
All right, before we wrap things up, Kramer, give me 2 waiver wire people that we should look out from. Yeah.
Well,
because normally you just read off the entire list, and it's not much of a segment.
Well, I was also going to highlight, just for those who want to filter through the fodder, John Gruden, I've seen multiple quotes that he essentially is he wants to get Josh Jacobs involved in the passing game. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for another DFS option, like when Gruden wants something, Gruden gets it. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of passes to Josh Jacobs in this next week's games. As far as what we should be doing from the waiver perspective, if you have Saquon Barkley, do you pick up Wayne Gallman? I think you have to. I don't think it's great. What I would actually suggest you do is if Ronald Jones is available in your league, that's the guy I would target. He so clearly looks better than Peyton Barber. It's disgusting. I think I probably have duplicative "why are they playing Peyton Barber" tweets over at Kramer Swetrick. Peyton Barber. I'm going to say that the talent always wins out. The Bucs are going to need it. He was one of the few bright spots in the second half of that game after Mike Evans decided he was going to go home early. So that's number one. Number two, if for whatever reason someone dropped Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you got to pick him up. I know that this Packers offense hasn't gone in a full-blown Aaron Rodgers FU explosive mode, but he is going to be
common.
He's a guy he's going to be on a good offense. He's going to catch again, how early into the game
I started him last
do you
week.
have a guy who has 50 yards and a touchdown because it's Aaron Rodgers? I'll throw out just for some position diversity, Sean.
Already over your two.
Will Dissly, who, as I mentioned in the DFS show, he's already got 3 touchdowns from Russell Wilson. He's going to have a big week this week, so now's the time to grab him. If anything, you can just play him 1 week if you're streaming tight ends. So Will Dissly is the guy, and that's it. Sean says I can't talk anymore.
No, it's just if you throw out all of them, then it kind of...
Yeah, you're right. Give out your less than stellar version of what I just did.
What Eagle, players. Sean? Tell us.
Yeah, what Eagle were you picking up this week?
I don't think there's any.
Nate Sudfeld, right? He's back finally. Maybe they're going to mix up the quarterback position because Carson Wentz looks like hot garbage.
DJ Chark, baby, he is the number one target for our boy Gardner Minshew. He just, he's making catches. They seem to have some real chemistry. Only owned in 41% of leagues, and that's that courtesy of our own waiver wire pickup article. Chris Giordani.
Can I ask you, are you if obviously if you have Patrick Mahomes, you're not picking this guy up, but any other quarterback, who are you not picking up Daniel Jones for? Other than Mahomes and maybe Aaron Rodgers?
It's a great question.
I got one for you.
Tom Brady?
Nope.
Josh Allen?
Nope.
Teddy B.
Matthew Stafford this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, against that Kansas City defense at home.
It's
not a bad play.
Serious question though: are you picking up Daniel Jones? Let's say you have Kirk Cousins as your starter.
Oh well, I would.
Kirk Cousins is a streamer.
No, I know. I'm just saying. All right, so let's say
I'll say this: he's in the streaming pile, and especially at home against this Washington defense, he would definitely be one of my top 3 streamers.
Kyler Murray is your quarterback. You picking up?
Kyler Murray to me is the streaming bin. There's only a couple of guys that I would actually keep.
Carson Wentz is your fantasy quarterback. Are you picking up Danny Dimes?
No, because I like winners, Ryan.
It's all about points in fantasy football, Sean. I'm sorry you don't understand the rules of the game. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Make sure you check out Christian Pina on Inside Vegas. Pina, what can people expect this week?
NFL, college football, where you're in full swing, different handicapper, giving you a different look into different handicapping styles, whether it's full volume, every side and totals, selectivity, over-unders, totals, team totals, first half team totals, you name it, we got it over there. So that's what we're going to be breaking down this week on Friday morning. That will be out on subscribe.thesgpn.com.
Ooh, Sean just got a little chubbed up here in that plug.
There you go, and keep the 5-star reviews coming in. If you have some sweet ones, we'll hook you up with some merch, some swag, which you can grab yourself over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Click that merch button for Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Let's go, Daniel Jones.
Kramer, let it ride.